Oh, geez. Sorry I'm late.
Dude, what took you so long? We gotta record here.
I was dusting off the Big Ben jersey, praying he comes back.
Desperate times, huh?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Oh my god, we did it!
My dick is big, my dick is wide, my dick is huge.
That's right. Super Bowl, here we come.
So you're saying there's a chance?
We're ready to tear this baby up. Why? Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to this Week 13 edition of the Trajan Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler, and sad, but still proud of my team because they're still in the playoff hunt. Kansas City Chiefs fanatic Christian Temple, joined as always by my good friend, the double towel twirling Trajan.
Bringing all the energy of the towel.
Yeah,
All the
I was gonna say you're bringing the Big Ben energy, you're bringing the backwards rally cap energy, you're bringing all the towels. I mean, you're getting all the positive vibes you can possibly get to hopefully not fall to the Patriots this week, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, yes.
Well,
Old Belichick.
yep, your old friend, the evil empire. The hoodie is coming back. Not with his same arsenal that he had all those years that caused destruction and despair to Steelers fans everywhere, and also to a lot of Chiefs fans too. Let's be honest here; they caused destruction and terror to a lot of teams over the years. But yeah, that's looking into the future. This past week has been awful. It's been terrible. It's been awful. Some more so than others, and some teams more so than even our teams. I don't know if it gets any lower than Joe Flacco being your starting quarterback, or losing to Jake Browning at home, or it's there were a lot of funky games, or holding the Patriots to 6 points, holding the Chargers to 6 points, but you lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot this week. It was what even is this league anymore? There was definitely a lot of this flying around, from what I understand, but
I mean, yeah.
and there were some places where this should have flown, but it didn't fly. I don't know. We don't know what's going on. Does anyone anymore? What even is football? If you can't tell, I'm stalling because I really don't want to talk about this, which I guess is a good segue to a great segue into another double feature, another exciting chapter of the I don't want to talk about it series, and I guess I'll go first. How about those Chiefs? Yay! God.
You have just as much energy as they had that last drive.
Oh, for the love of God, it was a slow, painful death. It really was. It was. So here's the deal. When we were down, 14-3, I still had hope. Cause like we just did this last week, we start off slow, get all the bad stuff out of our system, and then we'll just go down the field and make things happen, right? But no, it's just every time we're in the red zone, it's something not good. It's whether it's Pacheco being hot, great run, you're first and goal at the 5-yard line. Maybe hand it off to him one more time and get a little closer. No, you drop back to pass and you lose 15 yards on a sack, and then you're scrambling to get back into a decent field goal. So it was there. There was a lot of people complaining about the referees in that game, and let's be honest, they were awful for both sides. It was not one or the other. They were awful for both teams. But more so than that, to blame this loss on anything, it's three things: dumb play calling, dumb penalties, and the refs. It was all the refs. No, I'm kidding. It was, not protecting Mahomes in the red zone. Probably that was one of the bigger things too. So the only time Mahomes got sacked was when we were in the red zone. I don't know. you can't say they didn't at least try to feed Pacheco in this game. He had 18 carries, 110 yards, his best, pretty much the best game of his career. He had a rushing touchdown, and he had a hell of a right hook to the Packers defender, which he was unfortunately, there goes the flag, and he's ejected too, which I've come to the conclusion the referees are okay with someone pushing. They are not okay with retaliation. I've fully come to that conclusion. And actually, that happened.
You can't swing.
What's that?
You can't swing a fist.
You can't swing a fist, but here's another thing on that too. The Broncos-Texans game, the same thing happened. The Broncos sacked C.J. Stroud, should have been a 3-and-out, and Stroud gets in the face of the defender, and when the defender pushed him back, the defender was the one that got called, and that kept the drive alive and got the Texans another touchdown. You can't retaliate, and you could be stabbed in front of the referee, but if you so much as push him back for doing that, that's when the flag is going to go flying. It seems like I've come to that conclusion, and I don't know, but Patrick Mahomes, mediocre day. That was a terrible interception, and I don't know if it's on Sky more. I think it was more on Mahomes for not. For leading him too far, I guess, or not knowing what the route was supposed to be. I don't know. 21 of 33, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 reception. The funny thing is the touchdown was to the lowest receptor, Noah Gray. He only had a 2-yard reception, 1, and that was for the touchdown. Travis Kelce had a decent day, 4 receptions for 81 yards. Rashee Rice, we're finally going back to him more often, which is nice. He had 8 receptions for 64 yards. I hope we keep, pumping his numbers up. More to him, less to Sky Moore, please. Defense, as I mentioned earlier, that was a big thing. This was their worst game of the year, easily. Only 2 sacks, one from Mike Dana, the other from Charles Omenihu. The biggest thing on the defense, though, was the sudden injuries. So we lost Drew Tranquill almost immediately in the game. He gets a concussion. He's out for the game. And we're down to our 3rd-string linebacker in that front, Jack Cochran, who is now, making the calls. He's got the green dot on the helmet. He's the one making the calls on defense. And I'll say this, he wasn't terrible, but you could tell him being thrown into that leadership role just like that, spur of the moment. And there was some moments where the defense was caught confused because he probably could have led a little better in certain scenarios. Brian Cook, I didn't see the live, and they didn't show a replay of it too, but I did see a still frame of how his ankle was turned, and thank God that he did not break his ankle, because the way it looked, something should have been fractured. Something should have been split in 2. How bad that thing looked. So, good news to hear that he's gonna be okay. I don't imagine he'll be back anytime soon, even still, but it could have ended a lot worse for him too. Another injury to Donovan Smith, our starting left tackle. Called upon Wanya Morris to come in, and he actually didn't do too bad. He didn't do too bad for his for the amount of snaps he did. And it sounds like, since Smith will most likely not be ready by Sunday, this could be Morris's chance to prove himself. And Smith is on a 1-year deal, so this is a chance for Wanya Morris to show if he belongs to be in the starting 5, maybe going forward to next year too. But the one person I'm going to call out, and I think the experiment is over. I think it's time to move forward from this after next year. Jawan Taylor, the highest penalized lineman in the NFL. He had penalty number 16 for another holding call. And I'm over, the false starts and everything too, because they've become the most ticky-tacky thing as well. I watched the 49ers and Eagles game, and I'm seeing Lane Johnson do it every single snap, and he actually got called on it once. So, good on you, refs. You actually paid attention to one of them. But he's the one that they are laser focused in. If they feel like he got just even a half a second, not even half a second, maybe like a thousandth of a second, even though he times his stuff really well compared to everyone else too, I'm over it. He's am over the false starts. It's the holding calls that really get me. And you can call them ticky-tacky holding calls too, but the fact that there's so many, if the refs are going to pick on him, then we want him on the team. Then let him get picked on another team. I'm tired of that hurting us. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But hats off to the Packers. They're getting hot at the right time. They're in a playoff spot now. Who'd have thought that 4 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Now it's on to Buffalo, who is, they're kind of they're lukewarm. They're not a hot team. They're not really a cold team. They're just kind of there right now. So
They are a desperate
big
team.
big game at Arrowhead. Big game at Arrowhead this week against Buffalo. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I mean, Green Bay, yeah, they are a feisty team. I mean, not many teams could beat them. Just throwing that out there. No, yeah. I think what would help Mahomes is taking the easy dump off pass to Pacheco. He should have a lot more than just 4 targets on this game. And I
I
think
agree.
that would help your targeting with the others because I mean then they have to start playing the flats, which means they can't double team someone, and it just opens up a whole bunch of headaches. So I wonder why that. I mean, Andy Reid is a genius with calling the offense, but I wonder why that hasn't been a focus this year.
I feel as part of the reason is Mahomes is still trying to force into situations where it's really not necessary. I mean, and I agree with you what you just said because that's exactly how they came back against the Raiders. They stopped forcing it and they took what the Raiders defense was giving them, which was those dunk passes, dink and dunks. And I mean that touchdown to Rashee Rice. It was a short cross, and he made a couple guys miss, and boom, he was in the house. Taking it to the house. Easy for me to say, and he's good at that. He's good at forcing separation and breaking tackles and all that too. Same as Pacheco. Pacheco, God, he had one run where his first point of contact was 4 yards from the line of scrimmage, and he dragged the whole defense another 10 yards. That was insane to me. And he's not a big guy either. He just runs angry, and it's fun to watch. But yeah, it seemed like too many scenarios where Mahomes was trying to force things, and it was clearly evidenced by that interception too. But like I said, you got a good opponent coming at home this week. This is the time to get things right because now these games are becoming more must win, especially if they want the first round bye coming soon. But speaking of must win games, I would say tomorrow night would be one for you, but we're not going to talk about that yet. There's something else that we need to talk about, isn't there?
No, there's nothing we need to talk about. I might just be signing off right now.
Oh, all right. Okay. I did go on for quite a while, I have to say. I probably filled a whole episode's worth of my rant there, but
oh geez. What to talk about? So I started the day very optimistic. We got the Cardinals. I was a little worried, but I'm like, you know what? This is the game where Kenny Pickett, they had the 400-yard game last week. Coming into this one, Kenny Pickett shows what he could do. First drive went great. I mean, we had to settle for a field goal, but we drove down there. And then everything just went to shit.
just like the weather.
Just like the weather. So it was raining. So, I mean, neither quarterback did over 150. I mean, I guess if you put both our quarterbacks together, we did over 150. But we drive all the way down to the goal line, like literally knocking on the goal line. Third down, Kenny Pickett scrambles forward. I think it was like a 2-yard gain. Hurts his ankle.
And he was in shotgun on third down, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That was an interesting decision there. I'd never seen the replay, and the first thing I thought before I saw even the injury was, Wait, why are they in shotgun on 3rd and goal, like right by the goal line?
And when you got Najee and you got Warren,
Why not
just
pound
let
it
them,
3 times? Why not?
yeah, let them punch it in. I mean, I get QB sneaks, but I don't know. But I mean, it's easy for us to say at this point. Well,
Hmm.
so he hurts his ankle. We go and try for it on 4th down. No gain. It was 4th and 1 at the 1. So you think, all right, TJ Watt, Highsmith, got him pinned at the 1. This is where safety happens. It's tied 3-3. It's 5-3. No, they proceed to drive 99 yards and score a touchdown in the rain. So James Conner, he had a day for them, our former Steelers.
Yes. Yes.
25 carries, 105 yards, 2 tuds. So game goes to halftime. We get a weather delay, get another weather delay in the third quarter. It's just the worst performer. The thing that set this game really far behind, made it uncompetitive, is in the third quarter. Mason Cole, our center, was snapping the ball terrible. 3 botched snaps. The third one, Trubisky tried to pick it up, which why you do that, I don't know. You just drop on the ball, it's a dead play. That's what you do. They get the ball, they're already in our red zone, they score a touchdown. So now a 10-3 game goes to a 17-3 game. And we do proceed to do nothing in the third quarter. They score again, making it 24-3. We get a last minute touchdown to make it look, I guess, a little bit more respectable.
Boy, did Deontay think that was a game-changing touchdown, though, didn't he?
Oh my gosh. I am really over Deontay Johnson
I
to
was I was
be
about to say I just had my Jawan Taylor rant. Are you about to have something for Deontay?
this guy. I mean, you can make the media wants to talk about George Pickens complaining about not getting the ball. But this guy, he's all about himself. I know he went through that touchdown drought and he was a team player with that, but he got all the yards. This year, he has just been his effort has not been there, and I don't think he's worth the money. He'd be great for your team. He has hands just like all of your other receivers.
Wow.
But
Very nice, very nice.
but yeah. No, I mean the biggest disappointment is, where is our vaunted defense? I mean, Alex Highsmith got 1.5 sacks. TJ got credit for the other half sacks, but no one else got a sack.
They had the same amount
No
of sacks as
other,
we did.
no game-changing plays, interceptions, no fumbles lost. I mean, it's a rain game. We're known for, well, they did get some fumbles, but we didn't recover them. There's no game-changing plays, and that's what we expect. And it just wasn't good. It just wasn't good.
Just wasn't good.
And that's all I got to say about that.
That's fair.
So we go from one former Steeler player and Connor, who they said they were playing for.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go to the next former Steelers player and Juju Smith-Schuster. He is questionable for this game, but I'm worried.
So
I'm worried.
So you're on the fantasy king, the draft kings, and all that stuff too. So how much money are you putting on Juju to have himself a game next week? I'm joking.
Funny you should mention the bet. I do have a bet, and let me read this off for you.
Oh, I'm ready to hear this. Oh boy.
All right. So all that needs to happen after I badmouthed Deontay Johnson is him get 43.5 yards. George Pickens, over 40.5 yards.
Okay.
Pat Fryermuth over 27.5.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Warren over 55.5. The biggest iffy is 180.5 for Mitchell Trubisky.
Well,
But I
for
mean that's doable.
I was gonna say 4 of those 6 players you just named did better than those numbers this week against Arizona. So, and Trubisky was only in half a game. So,
Yeah. So I mean it was a rain game.
yep.
Maybe. I mean Najee's probably out. So Warren 55.5 yards. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that's impossible.
Nope.
So
Nope.
we'll see.
We shall see. It's funny. I just now noticed this when you mentioned the fumbles and everything too. So under the videos, underneath the score that I pulled up on my screen here, the first video is the game recap from NFL, and the next video is titled, and I quote, "Every day I'm fumbling." So I'm guessing it's 51 seconds long. So I'm guessing it's probably showing every single fumble that happened, probably for both teams in this game. But yeah, that's definitely a side effect of bad weather games for sure. So, got to give credit to the Cardinals though. They scored at least once every single quarter.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, they almost scored as much as the Green Bay Packers did on you guys.
they
So
scored exactly or no, that's right. They almost did. That's right. I
they
thought it was
just
24.
needed
It's
one
27.
field
They
goal.
just need one more field goal. You're right. You're right.
So,
Hey, let's
uh,
be honest. We said it throughout the year. The Cardinals have been one of those scrappy teams. So their talent may not be there, but their effort usually is every single week. And this time it just happened to pull through for them. So it's just a shame it had to be at the Steelers' expense.
oh, sure. I'm sure you're torn up about this.
Well, I'll be really torn up if come Thursday night, a certain Black and Gold Brigade is upsurd by the hoodie once again. As that would be ultimately tragic, considering they had no points last week against the Chargers and that defense. So,
My
uh,
wife would have to hide the ropes in the house.
oh no. No, we can't mention that demonetized. Even though I literally have a GIF of someone putting a gun to their head and everything. I can't monetize these videos. What are you talking about? That'd be silly of me. Um, God, there were a lot of other fun games on there too. I mean, God, Seattle almost upsetting Dallas. The comeback from New Orleans almost taking down Detroit. Obviously the 6-0 game. I mean, the Texans and Broncos, that could have been considered a classic. Colts and Titans, that was actually a fun game to watch between two teams that aren't necessarily the most fun to watch anymore.
Joe Flacco back?
Joe Flacco back in the league. I mean, the 49ers crushing the Eagles. I mean, if you want to talk about a statement win, holy smokes,
Ooh.
I'm about ready to break out the tear maker right now and just leave the 49ers as Super Bowl champs and no one else is worthy if they play
You know,
like
it's
that.
funny. We were saying how that should have been the Sunday night game, which we were seeing a lot of scoring,
Yeah.
but your game was closer.
Crazy,
It was a
right?
more competitive game.
It was. It was. We wouldn't have expected that. And then you have the other side of the coin, the disappointment of the Falcons and Jets, where the Falcons tried their absolute damnedest to lose that game, and the Jets just kept tripping over themselves. And now Zach Wilson is second guessing himself, but he's going to
Yeah,
start
he
this
said,
week.
I'm out, Chief.
But
I'm
he's
out.
starting this week. And who do they even have? I don't even. They play. What do they play?
I don't.
Oh, they play they're dead. They're playing the Texans this week. Dear God.
Oh,
Oof,
gosh.
they're dead. They're dead meat on there. All right. Well, as we mentioned, yes, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. This will make you happy. The Steelers are 6-point favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a 64.8% chance to win. It looks like Zap will be the quarterback yet again
Bailey
for the
Zappi.
Patriots.
Bailey Zappi. Yep, that's right. Oh boy.
Um, they got some injuries. We got some injuries. Um, biggest one probably for my sake is Juju Smith-Schuster being out. He hasn't done nothing all year, but
Yeah.
I just see it being like a revenge game, and but our injuries hurt. They James Pierre, a cornerback, a position that's very thinned out right now. Um, so he's out. Najee being questionable. I mean, yeah, we got Warren there, but it was nice to have both backs. We'll actually get to see what Warren does a full game, so I'm very interested in that.
Absolutely.
Um, Landon Roberts, linebacker, he was already a backup coming in, and now he's questionable. Mason Cole, don't care if he ever starts again. He's going to be out for the rest of the year. I don't care. And then, of course, the big one, Kenny Pickett. He is almost season-ending injury. He's working to be back for the Eagles, last game of the year. Hopefully, we're still in playoff contention where it comes into it, but I don't know. We'll see.
Very glad to hear that his surgery was successful and there's no long-term issues or a long-term recovery for Pickett, because he kind of is still the leader of the offense there through and through. So if they want a chance to maybe take a shot in the playoffs, he will definitely have to be healthy to have an opportunity. Sunday, 3:25 game back at Arrowhead. The Buffalo Bills come to town. The Chiefs are 1.5-point favorites, but it's saying the Bills have a 54.5% chance of winning. So that's a interesting call by the ESPN folks there. As far as injuries, Nick Bolton is trending to be back. I doubt he will return this week. It'd be great, though, especially if Drew Tranquill is still having issues with the concussion he suffered this past week. Jerick McKinnon's still showing as questionable. They're showing Brian Cook as questionable, but I'm guessing with the ankle, he'll probably most likely be out the next week, if not the next couple of weeks. And I'm sure they'll test it out to see how bad it is, even though we know it's not broken. There's still got to be some kind of damage in there too that he's going to have to recover from, considering that still frame of how bent back that thing was. That was still. And Isaiah Pacheco showing up as questionable due to a shoulder contusion. So that'll be something that'll be monitored as the week goes on. But we shall see. It's always a classic matchup. These past few years, Josh Allen versus Pat Mahomes. I'm just excited to, as a football fan, just to see it too. Obviously, I want to see my team win and move up in the playoff race to the 1 seed. But we know it's the Bills, and we know they're gonna give it their all. So, guess you just only hope for a good game and hope that at least both the offense and the defense and the special teams all come together and play well, win, lose, or draw, and at least can see a complete game from them. So we'll see how it goes. Any final thoughts before we close down shop for this week?
Oh man. God, I hope we beat the Patriots. That's my closing thought.
That's your closing thought?
I mean, just looking at the numbers, I'm scared to death.
It's one of those. It's like, oh God, it's a game we should absolutely win. Oh no. I kind of felt that way when all of the talking heads on Sunday Night Football, every single one of them picked the Chiefs to beat the Packers, and I just went, oh no.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what was going to happen, and unfortunately, I hate to be superstitious like that, but I also hate that I was right, that something terrible was going to happen, and it sure enough it did, and the Chiefs blew it. So, but they have no one to blame but themselves ultimately. So let's hope that they can right the ship. And same thing with the Steelers. Maybe they'll look in the mirror and realize they're much better than what they are. Even with the backup QB, they can show what they are capable of doing. So,
Yep.
Guess we'll find out. So, but we will find out with you all next week when we're back for our Week 14 recap. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Go sports ball. Boo ref ball. We'll see you next week, everyone.